Hello. Today we're going to do some work with your band. Doesn't matter how big the band is, how heavy the band is, just any band. And if you don't have a band, you can even just use a strap. What we're going to do is a little three-way hip stretch. So we're going to start lying on your back. I'm going to put the band around the ball of your foot. I recommend having it over your toes as well. And how we're going to hold the band, you're going to grab it so it's going to exit out by my thumbs. You're going to pin the elbows right down into your ribs. And we're going to straighten your opposite leg out if that feels okay for you. Going to bring that leg in. We're going to flex the ankle. We're going to start right with a hamstring stretch. So you have the option here to keep this opposite leg straight. It can be bent if it feels better on your back, of course. And we're going to start just flexing and pointing your ankle. I'm going to do 5 of these. Here's 3. So we're just releasing the whole back of your leg. 1 more. And you're going to point through the ankle. We're going to take it slow. We're going to do ankle circles. So if we get this right, the leg is going to be fairly still. We're just slowly circling the ankle around. So number 4, I'm going to do 1 more for 5. And then we're going to reverse the circle. Again, take this slow. It's not a race. Just getting all the muscles working in your ankle, getting a little stretch. There you go. I'm going to go back to a flexed ankle. Once you've been here, you might find the hamstring has released and you can go a little bit further. I'm going to hold for 2 slow breaths in and out. Now we're going to let that go. We're going to bend the opposite leg. You're going to hold both sides of the band into your left hand because we've got the right leg into the band. I'm going to take my right hand, it's going to go right at my hip crease, right where the thigh is coming into my pelvis. I'm going to keep that right hip heavy, slowly start to draw that leg across your midline. It doesn't have to be big. I'm going to turn just so you can see, right? It's not that far over at all. And what we're looking to get is a little stretch through the glute and the side. If you're here and you feel like all you're getting is a stretch in your hamstring, if you bend your knee slightly, sometimes that helps to get it through your glutes just a little bit more. And you're just holding for slow breaths in and out, gently, slowly flexing the ankle. Your find might increase that stretch a little bit too. Just slowly breathing into that. And then we're going to bring the leg up. Going to continue to hold the band in that hand. Opposite leg is going to stay bent. And now you're going to start to open that right leg out to the right, and then you're going to open the left leg. So now we're going for a little inner thigh stretch. Slow breaths in. If it's too much on the shoulder or this arm, you could switch hands too. Actually, you can hold it with the same hand. Whichever one, again, is working best for you. You can open that opposite arm out. But what I want you to do in this one is just take a peek at your pelvis. Make sure you're level, right, that you're not falling into the hip. And sometimes a way to get deeper into the stretch is to draw the leg up more towards your ear versus more out to the floor. Going to hold again for a few slow breaths in and out. And with each exhale, you might find you get a little more work there, a little more stretch as your body starts to release. And you're going to bring that leg up. You're going to bend the knee. Opposite foot goes in. And we'll do the same stretch here. So it goes over your toes just a little bit. We're holding the band again. It exits out by your thumbs. It's kinder to your wrist that way. We're gonna flex the ankle. Honoring that each hip is different than the other, right? So maybe your opposite leg straightens, again, maybe it stays bent. You go slow breaths in and out there. And then we'll start to flex and point the ankle. And you'll find as you flex, right, the toes coming towards you, get a little bit more stretch, a little bit more release of the back of your leg. Here you go, one more. And then we're going to circle that leg, or that's your ankle. We're going to circle your ankle around. Here's 3. We're going to do 5 and 4 and 5. And then we're going to reverse it. And 4 and 3. 2 more. Again, it's slow. We're just seeing what that ankle can do. And then again, once we've been here, so you might find a release that you're coming a little bit more. Slow breaths in and out. And it doesn't matter where your leg is, right? If you're out here, if you're here, if you're way down there, anywhere where you're feeling like you can kind of breathe into your stretch. And then we're going to take it into the IT band gluteal stretch. So the opposite knee bends. I'm going to hold the band in the opposite hand. Hand comes to your hip crease. And you're going to slowly start to draw that leg across the midline. Again, for a visual, it would look like this, right? It's not very big, but the goal is to keep that opposite hip down. Again, if you get it too much in your hamstrings versus the outside of the leg, you can bend your knee, and sometimes that's just enough. Ooh, on this side, I'm going to keep it bent. Get a little bit more stretch through there. And again, it's slow breaths in and out. Keeping that opposite hip down. You can flex the ankle slowly. Feel what that does to the stretch. And then we're going to bring that leg up. Opposite knee opens for the adductor stretch as that leg opens out. So we have that same option. If it's a little too much in the shoulder on this side, you can switch hands, or you might prefer to have it here. Either way, you're going to curl up. Just check that you're in a level pelvis. Slow breaths in and out. Again, you might feel that hip begin to release a little bit as you go. And it's not about necessarily pulling it more to the floor, but up towards your ear. Right, we'll give you a little bit more stretch there. This is a real great stretch to do after you've gone for a walk, gone for a run, rode your bike, worked in the garden, whatever activities you're doing to stay active through this. We're going to bring the leg up slowly. We'll bend the knee. Take your foot out of the strap. And we'll call that your 3-way hip stretch. Thanks for joining me today, and be well.